Chinese citizens are boycotting again, this time over a beverage company. What did the company do? And is China's cancel culture getting out of hand? Welcome to China Uncensored. I'm Chris Chappell. The CCP celebrated its 100th anniversary on July 1st. And in Hong Kong, police were out on the streets to make sure everyone was celebrating in the right way. That is, by not protesting. But that night, a Hong Kong policeman was stabbed in what police call a lone wolf attack. The man who stabbed the officer committed suicide after the attack. And it turns out he had left behind several suicide notes declaring his hatred of police, his opposition to the Beijing-imposed security law, and his intention to kill an officer on July 1st. The police officer is okay. He's recovering in the hospital. The attacker was a 50-year-old Hong Kong man named Long Jinfai. He worked at a Hong Kong beverage factory called Vitasoy, which sells soy milk and other flavored drinks. After the stabbing/suicide incident, an employee at Vitasoy issued this internal memo. It says, "We regret to inform everyone about the unfortunate death of Mr. Lung on July 1st. Our company expresses our deepest condolences to Lung's family." Now, Mr. Lung was the attacker, not the victim. That being said, it's understandable how a Vitasoy employee could have written that memo. Maybe they mixed up the details of what happened, or maybe they were actually sympathetic. After all, according to this RFA survey, 81% of Hong Kongers consider Lung a martyr, while only 6% consider Lung a terrorist. But publicly, that's not an okay view to have. Hong Kong authorities warned that advocating for people to mourn for the attacker was no different from supporting terrorism. And unfortunately for Vitasoy, that internal memo got leaked. People started sharing it across the Chinese internet. And Chinese netizens were, how shall I put this, extremely butthurt. They were angry at the memo's choice of words. They were furious that a person committing suicide after attacking a police officer was called an unfortunate death. Plus, they didn't like the word accident used to describe the incident. And then, mainland China's terrifying cancel culture reared its ugly head. Immediately, there was a flood of comments criticizing Vitasoy for defending Lung. Trash Vitasoy. Rooting for a terrorist? It's time to boycott. Get out of the mainland market. Those who support Vitasoy should leave China. Supporting terrorism? Get out of China. Less than a day after word got out, this hashtag started trending. Have you thrown out your Vitasoy today? It got 5 million impressions on social media platform Weibo. The hashtag Vitasoy supports Hong Kong protesters has 75 million impressions. And the hashtag Get Out of the Mainland Vitasoy hit 120 million impressions. Celebrities who had business relations with Vitasoy quickly released official statements denouncing their collaborations with the brand. And the commercials that these actors have done for Vitasoy in May have been taken down from Bilibili, China's version of YouTube. Videos began circulating of local retailers rejecting Vitasoy.
咱们家从今天开始正式宣布啊，下架所有的这个维他系列的商品，下架所有维他系列商品啊，不卖了。大家可以找一下这个抖音里面去继续发这个维他这个事件啊，这个是非常可气，非常之可气啊。
This guy buys a box of Vitasoy just so he can throw it in the trash. And this kid shows that canceling Vitasoy can be a family activity. That boy is clearly a national hero. You gotta teach him to cancel when they're young. And this image went viral too. It reads, "Chinese people don't eat Vitasoy. Vitasoy, get out of China. Oppose anti-Chinese behavior." Chinese people not eating has become a trending meme in China. It means the Chinese people don't accept this. It's like when your 4-year-old doesn't want to eat the broccoli on their plate. The phrase was used during the recent boycott over Xinjiang cotton. Fashion brands like Nike and H&M declared they would no longer use Xinjiang cotton because of concerns over Uyghur slave labor. So nationalistic Chinese netizens canceled them for not supporting China's slave labor. You can watch my video on that, where you'll see how quickly Chinese netizens burned their shoes and apparel in a cotton boycott. And now, it's the same thing happening to Hong Kong's Vitasoy. And in Vitasoy's case, it's having a huge impact on their bottom line. More after the break. Welcome back. China accounts for up to 70% of Vitasoy's sales. But once Chinese netizens began to cancel Vitasoy, its shares plunged by 12%, practically overnight. It was their biggest single-day drop since their listing in 1994. After the initial backlash from their leaked internal memo, Vitasoy tried to walk it back in this official statement. We have noticed that a document related to the incident that occurred in Hong Kong on July 1st is circulating on the internet. These documents were not officially approved for release by Vitasoy Group. Instead, they were written by an employee privately and forwarded internally. They were not authorized and did not follow the Vitasoy Group's internal approval process. Vitasoy also released this statement saying they're committed to supporting the stability, prosperity, and development of mainland China and Hong Kong, which is code for, we are not against the Chinese Communist Party. So officially, Vitasoy's response checked all the politically correct boxes. But it was too late. The Chinese boycott had already begun. Throwing away Vitasoy beverages had already become the newest act of Chinese patriotism.
不能卖了，作为一个中国人，干这事儿，还卖吗？下架下架，全部停卖。
In this video, a man comes to make sure that this store clerk is taking Vitasoy off the shelves for the right reason.
你女呢個下架啊？
佢又唔係質量問題。你睇新聞都知道新聞。
我知，我問下係咪下架啫。
係下架。係啊。
People are also posting photos of their trips to their local stores just to check up on whether Vitasoy was taken off the shelves. And any store that still had Vitasoy would be shamed. This live streamer was drinking a carton of Vitasoy lemonade.
Oh, sorry.
When his live chat ordered him to get rid of that carton right away.
哦，好嘞，好嘞，好，扔了。啊，有什么最新消息吗？是有什么最新消息吗？等一下我看一下。Holy.
Meanwhile, fans in the live stream chat are typing GD, which is code for the censored term Hong Kong independence.
哦，懂了，扔了，全扔了，立刻全扔了。中国最棒。开了。
Yes, China is the best. Because if you don't prove you threw your politically incorrect drink in the trash, the mob will come for you. And just when things seemed like they couldn't get worse for Vitasoy, came the bomb threats. Then an official notice was posted on the Chinese internet stating the human resources director of Vitasoy's Hong Kong operations had left the company. This led netizens to believe Vitasoy fired her. But that still wasn't enough. Netizens doxed her and shared pictures and videos of her LinkedIn account. That account is now no longer available on LinkedIn. And finally, Vitasoy's chairman announced that the company has fired the employee who wrote the original memo. Now I know China takes its law about respecting the police very seriously. But Vitasoy didn't slander the police, and they didn't harm national security. But with the response to Vitasoy's one internal memo, Vitasoy and its employees were put in real danger. Chinese boycotts often get out of hand really fast. When the cause is politically correct, China's state censors will take a back seat and let the people turn on each other. It's a great way to let people blow off steam. And sure, some people get hurt, but only the bad people, the ones who don't express unconditional love for the Chinese Communist Party. And now I'll answer a question from a member of the China Uncensored 50 Cent Army that supports this show on Patreon. Mark Chung asks, I would like to ask about your views if the Communist Party of China is somewhat reluctant to invade Taiwan. I hope they aren't really considering invading the country of Taiwan. Well, Mark, the Chinese Communist Party is not reluctant to invade Taiwan. They want to do it. In fact, the U.S. Admiral in charge of the U.S. Indo-Pacific Command recently called it China's #1 priority. For the Communist Party, they see it as part of their rejuvenation of China. Plus, they want to occupy Taiwan for military reasons. They need their navy to be established in what's called the First Island Chain to access the Pacific. Now, you asked if they're reluctant to invade. They're not, but they are cautious. They won't try it until they think there's at least a strong chance they'll succeed. And the more Taiwan prepares for an invasion, the less likely it will happen. And the more support countries like the US, Japan, and Australia show for defending Taiwan, the less likely they'll have to actually defend Taiwan. Thanks for your question, Mark. And thank you, everyone, for watching. Be like Mark and support China Uncensored on Patreon. Visit patreon.com/China Uncensored and contribute $1 or more per episode so we can afford to keep making episodes like this for you. Once again, I'm Chris Chappell. Thanks for watching China Uncensored.